There was a time in the past, some of you might remember it, when Hawaiian shirts were all the rage. And there was a Sunday when someone came up and let's just say gave one of our teaching pastors a number of nice shirts from Tommy Bahama. All that is well and good until one of those had to be returned for a problem with it. And suddenly it was discovered it really didn't come from Tommy Bahama with a price tag that was implied, but it came from a closeout bin and cost absolutely nothing. Now, there's nothing wrong with seeing something in a closeout bin and giving it to somebody. That's great. But pretending that this was a valuable gift bought from the store itself is a very, very different manner. And as we take a look at what it means to give and serve your city this week, it reminds me of a passage that's kind of like that Hawaiian shirt story. Now, I want to make it absolutely clear. There's nothing wrong with leaving something behind in your will. There's nothing wrong with taking your stuff and giving it away to a Goodwill or some other organization. There's nothing wrong with taking something that you no longer want, or like in the case of a will, no longer have any control over, and saying, hey, here it is. That's a good thing. But what we need to understand is there's no reason to pat ourselves on the back for giving away stuff that cost us nothing. Yeah, it's a good thing to do, far better than putting it in the trash. But real giving is something that costs me. And there's a story in 2 Samuel chapter 24 about a guy named King David. And as many times he'd done, once again, he kind of makes a really bad decision. You'll have to read 2 Samuel 24 on your own this week to pick up the whole story. But at the end of it, God tells someone named Gad to go and tell David, hey, here's how you're going to get out of this mess and this plague that has come upon Israel. You need to go by a threshing floor, and you need to make a sacrifice. And when that is accepted, all of this will be taken care of. So King David goes over towards where that's supposed to be done, and here's what happens. It says David went up as the Lord commanded through Gad, and when Araunah, the owner of the property, looked and saw the king and his officials coming towards him, he went out and bowed down before the king with his face to the ground. And Araunah said, why is my lord the king come to his servant? Well, I want to buy your threshing floor, David answered, so I can build an altar to the Lord that the plague on the people may be stopped. And Araunah, the property owner, says to David, oh, let my lord the king take whatever he wishes and offer it up. Here are the oxen for the burnt offering. Here's threshing sledges and ox yokes for the wood. Oh, your majesty, I give all this to the king. May the Lord your God accept you, and implied your sacrifice. But the king replied to Araunah, no, I insist on paying you for it. I will not sacrifice to the Lord my God, burnt offerings that cost me nothing. And I just want to put that before you a little bit, because sometimes I think we think that we're generous when what we're doing is we're doing stuff that costs us nothing. And again, that's great. Random acts of kindness, go for it. Stuff you don't need, go for it. But when I stand before the Lord, what I want to be able to be is someone who said, in a microcosm, Lord, I was like Jesus. I didn't call my generosity, I didn't call my giving and serving to others those things that cost me nothing. That I did what I could to say, Lord, this is a genuine, not in word only, but in reality, a sacrifice to your fame, to your glory, and to your agenda. God forbid, like David, that we would sacrifice to the Lord gifts that cost us nothing.